Uh, hey guys, it's Jason coming to you from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. Working on some Elco stuff again today. Been kind of delaying putting this off, but got to get to it. Got to get to wiring. Probably my least favorite thing to do on a car, but it's time to get to that again. So clock's a ticking. I got 6 weeks until Cletus and cars, and got to get it wired. So we're going to start by stripping down the ECU harness. We're going to strip that guy down to just what we need to make it run, and then we're going to go from there. So we got to find let's just get to that. I'm going to clean the bench off over here and set you guys up and do the time. Put the time in and strip that harness down. So I don't want to, but yeah, let's get to it. Time lapse, guys. Okay guys, so that's kind of how I like to do an ECU or a harness. First thing I like to do is I like to strip out all the wires that I'm not going to use. To do that, you kind of just have to look at your pinouts and your connectors, and you have to do that. So do your homework, figure out what wires you're not going to use. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Then I bundle all of my inputs. These are all the inputs. So these go to the sensors, fuel pressure, oil pressure, coolant temp, intake temp, intake pressure, throttle position. So this takes care of those sensors. So I kind of put those all together as well. Those are on your J1A. The other ones you have are your can and your switch. I put those together because those are probably going to stay inside the car and be ran to the dash type area. Then on your B, your J1B, I put the ignition together. So that's my 8 coils plus there's 1 ground in there for the ECU. And then I put my injectors together as well. I only got 4 because I'm running a throttle body, so that's my 4 there. And then I have my 4 for my IAC. Those go there. Those 2 are probably going to run right up to the throttle body. This one will probably head to the top engine with that one. This one's going to run to the coils inside the car, and then you just have your wideband O2 and your cam and crank. Those are pretty simple. When you break it down like this, guys, it makes it real simple, because then you're only dealing with a bundle of 9 wires at worst. So like that's like 9 wires. I think this is like 6 or 7, but it makes it a lot simpler. You can just deal with each one of these each little spool of wires at a time, you know. And it also is a good way to get them harnessed up too, so that if you ever have to troubleshoot, you can basically say, hey, it's in these wires, and you can just start running them. So I'm not an expert at this, but I have done this about 3 times, and you will learn a lot about wiring an ECU in the first 3 times that you do it. So just take it from me, kind of set it up this way. Now we can go find a location inside the El Camino for the ECU. And then once we have a location for the ECU, we can start running these out of the firewall and into the engine compartment, and start figuring out where the how we're going to route them from ECU to engine. So I think that's next, guys. I think we're gonna have to jump on that. So yeah, let's go. I mean, it's kind of a, how to say, just tip. It takes a lot of time just sitting here on the bench sorting wires. But the first time I did this, I actually did it inside the Beetle, and it'll take you about 10 times longer to sort and run these wires into little bundles inside the car. So you know, take some time, plan, and then execute. So let's go get that ECU in the car. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna mount that ECU either right there or maybe just down just a little bit, but basically in about this location. That's a Terminator. I have a holley HP. I'll probably switch to the HP, but the Terminator and the HP are essentially the same for now. And then I have this big grommet on the firewall where most of the wires for the old small block 350 went. I'm probably just going to pull through there, at least the sensor wires for my sensors and IAC and whatnot, and probably my my injectors. So I'm probably going to pull, yeah, 2 of the harnesses through there, maybe the coils as well, and then the bigger wires, the crank and the cam and the O2. I'm going to find a different location, but I think I'm going to go through that hole in the firewall with the majority of them because it's right there. It's real close. It's away from the headers, and yeah. So let's see if we can't get that done. Okay, so that came out pretty slick. Those all tucked right up under there. And they're all poking out right there in the back of the firewall. I put my coils, wires over there because I'm probably going to deal with them last. And then I have my injectors and my IAC valve there. But the first set of wires that I'm probably going to take that I'm going to find the home to is going to be these sensor wires, because these are kind of all over the place. I got one there, I got one there, I got one on the side of here, I got one up in the front up here, I got one down here. So I got to go figure out the homes for all these wires first, and since that's the one that's going to be the most spread out, that's the one I'm going to worry about first. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get the connectors for that and my wiring map for what the connectors need to be, what wires go into what on the connectors. And then I'm going to start doing all those sensors. And once we get done with the sensors, we're going to do the IAC and the injectors, just because they're basically right here. They're going to be right there, so that's going to be pretty easy once I get that done, and then it'll be down to the coils. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I think I'm going to go get all my connectors and get my pinouts and get my tools around the rest of tonight. I got some stuff I got to order and whatnot, so I'm going to work on all that, and then I'm going to try to work on this every night this week, because I really feel like I should be able to finish this up pretty quickly. So that's going to be my goal, is to be out here every night working on this. So cheer me on, guys. We're getting close to that finish line. Here we go. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for today. But I'm definitely gonna be out here tomorrow, ready to add connectors to that guy so that we can check it off the list. All right, guys, we're back. We're ready for action. I got a little board set up here, and I got my sensor wires out over here. I went ahead and found all my connectors for all my different spots, and I have them laying out so that I'm ready to go. And essentially, I'm gonna start with the backmost sensor, and I'm going to run it through. I made a little list. This is something you're going to want to do ahead of time. You're going to want to make a list of all your connectors. Make sure that you have your connectors, and then you're going to want to get the pinouts for those connectors, and then you're going to put the color of wire that goes with those on there, and then you're going to want to make sure you have those wires. So that takes a little bit of time. It's well worth doing ahead of time than after the fact. Trust me on this one. So get all that information, make sure you have all your connectors, and then start in the back of the engine and wire your way to the front. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to get you guys on time lapse, and yeah, you're going to enjoy the process of me scratching my head, looking at this list about 400 times, cutting wires, and hopefully making a little harness. So here we go. Well, guys, I told myself I was going to come out here 2 hours a night, and that's what I got done in 2 hours. I got that oil pressure sensor done, and I got the wires ran underneath there up to the coolant temp sensor. I got my wires for my fuel pressure. I got my wires for my manifold intake temperature. At manifold absolute temperature. I have my wires for my throttle position, and I have my wires for my manifold absolute pressure map up there. This is kind of the hard one that you got to run, because you got to splice and split your powers and your grounds off. So you got to make some splices, and it's very strategic. That takes some time. I like to solder them in and shrink wrap them, and then I like to put them just behind where I pull wires out. But that's it for the first night of the week. 2 hours. So we're gonna get back out here. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. Okay, guys? I hope to have this thing completely wired up by the end of the week. It's gonna go faster as we go. Okay, guys, we're out here for night 2 this week of the 2 hours a night challenge. I'm gonna try to finish up the rest of or some more of this harness tonight, jump onto some other of it. But yeah, let's see how fast 2 hours goes tonight, guys. Time lapse. well, guys, that's going to do it for my 2 hours tonight. I did finish up my fuel pressure, my manifold absolute temperature, my TPS, my manifold absolute pressure. I also got my injectors on the front, my injectors on the back, and I even got my IAC valve wired in, and I even started luming it up a little bit. So it's going to look really good really quick. I got these two majority of the way, and then I got to do this sensor harness. I got my power pulled out over to this side for my injectors, so that I can power those probably with a MSD coil, a solid state relay over here. But yeah, that came out pretty good. This will tidy up with a little bit of zip ties and some more wire loom and some more tape. But yeah, there it is. Everything up top is wired at the moment. Everything's connected. I just got to pretty it up, and then I can move on to my crank or my cam and my crank down on the side. Those will probably be the next two sensors that I run, and then yeah, then we'll be down to an O2 sensor. So I'll probably work on those next three. I'll probably finish up this wiring harness, probably finish up this loom next time, and get to those next three sensors, and that'll be an engine connected to a ECU, and then we can get to wiring the chassis. Yeah, I told you it's going to look a lot further along today than it did yesterday. That first wiring harness, that first sensor harness is kind of slow going with all the splices you got to do into it. But anyways, my buzzer went off, so that's my 2 hours for the day. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my evening, and I will be back out here tomorrow, guys. We'll see how far we can get on this week. Yeah, see how much wiring we can get done. Anyways, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I'll be back out tomorrow. Okay, guys, day 3 of 2-hour challenge. I'm going to finish this wire looming up, and hopefully I'm going to get to the crank and cam sensors. I also need to remove this trim piece up here and cut some of the cowl away so that I can mount my coils up there. So hopefully maybe I can get all 3 of those done, but those are the next 3 on the list. So let's get to it. Guys, that's all the wiring harnesses that are running up to that throttle body. I got them all plugged, and I got them all wire loomed. There's kind of a big clump of them back here, but I think I can tie those together with like some zip ties and tuck those away a little bit more. And with that air cleaner on there, I don't think you're going to be able to see much of that at all. You know, from up here, it's going to look a lot like a small block Chevy. So I think that's a pretty clean install for what we're up to. I need to pull this piece of trim off. And then I need to cut that guy out of there. And I need to figure out a spot to mount my coils. That's kind of in the way over on the driver's side. I think I can mount my coils like right in here if that wasn't there. So I think I'm gonna try to take this little chrome piece off and see what I got to do to make some room for coils over on this side. I kind of want to put them right up in here. I'm hoping I can get them right up in here. But yeah, I need to get rid of that guy. I don't need it where we're going, so let's tear this apart and see what we're dealing with, and maybe get the cut wheel out and trim it a little bit. Okay, here we go. Well, guys, I got that I don't know, that rain shelf cut out there, and I got my coils put in there. I tried to just line up that spark plug or that coil with the valve cover, and that one as well with the valve cover. That one's on a little bit more of an angle up, and that's just because the firewall's that way, and that one sits just a little bit lower. But hey, you know what? That's going to do for where we're going with it. So I think the next thing I got to do is wire in my coils, and yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good stop for today. Wire these coils up tomorrow, and yeah, move on to that crank and cam. So day 3, 2 hours a day, making good progress, guys. I'm hoping to have this engine completely connected to the ECU by the weekend, and it looks like that's entirely possible right now. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's Thursday night. I made a stop on my way home, and I picked up my Holley HP that was in the Beetle. I'm gonna put this in the car. Holley HP has data logging to where a Terminator doesn't. So I'm gonna use this guy in the Dominator, in the El Camino. So I just went and picked that up tonight. That took a little bit of time. Plus I got to see my brother, so that was really cool. Love seeing him. And we're gonna get on that wiring harness for the coil packs, and I have one for a standard like LS application, or well, really kind of universal. But something I think is really interesting about these is if you look at them, there's 5 wires in there. So the first one is the signal. That's what's going to the ECU. The next one is the source ground, is basically the ECU ground. So it's basically the ground for the signal. It's super clean and doesn't have any trash in it or anything like that. Then the third wire, which is this brown wire, is a ground that goes to the cylinder head. And then the next one is a ground that goes to the battery, and then power from the battery. So these smart coils actually have 5 wires in them, and 3 of them are grounds. One's a signal for the ground for the sensor, and then you have a cylinder head ground, a battery ground, and then power. So really interesting the way these are done. So 5 wires per coil. Don't mix them up. The things will not work if you get them wrong. You got to have that cylinder head ground going to the cylinder head. You got to have that battery ground going to the battery, and you got to have that signal ground going to the ECU. You can't mix them up. You can't cross them up. You can't do anything other than get them right. So take your time and get it right. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to use this harness. I'm going to make my own, but that's essentially what I got to do is get all that done. So let's get to it. It's not going to do itself. Time lapse. So guys, I got those all built. I realized once I started that I was going to just tag 4 of the wires together in each harness, and I really was only going to add 1 wire from this. So I just made 2 little sub harnesses for each side, and then I'll come back in and I will basically strip those and make a wire for those for my power, ground to battery, ground to head, and ground to signal. I'll come back in and make those. I'll finish that harness up probably tomorrow. But for today, I just wanted to get all these connectors completed. I'll come back in tomorrow and solder it up. I think I went over my 2 hours today, but that's kind of where I wanted to end the day off, with both of those wired up. And yeah, day 4 of 2 hours a day. Day 5 coming right at us tomorrow. I'll be right back out here, finish up this harness, and then we can put the holley HP in it. And yeah, hopefully we can get the crank and cam sensors as well tomorrow. So yeah, getting a lot done, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm not. Wiring's just very tedious. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. I'll be back out here tomorrow. All right, guys, we're out here on Friday, day 5 of the 2-hour challenge after work. I'm gonna finish up those coils, and hopefully I can get the ECU mounted. So let's get on it. Well, guys, that does it for tonight's 2 hours. It's Friday night. I would love to stay longer and finish that out, but I want to be back out here tomorrow. So I'll wire loom this tomorrow, I guess, and start working on some other stuff. I think that's pretty good for the day. I mean, these have by far the most wires. Each one of these have 20 wires in them, so there's 40 wires total. That's just about as many as I've been messing with the ECU in total, just in those 2 coil packs. So I'm gonna get those looking pretty tomorrow, and then we'll jump on getting that ECU in there and finishing up the last couple of sensors. I honestly think tomorrow we should be able to get it darn near knocked out. So yeah, what a 5 days of running. It's got a lot done on this thing, but there's still a little bit to go. Nothing too complicated, but yeah, I'm gonna get those wire loomed, and get the cam and the crank sensor, and think about an O2 sensor up in one of these headers, and mount that ECU. That's what we got left. So yeah, 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours this week. I spent another 5 hours on it on Sunday, so I'm 15 hours into wiring the car right now, just the engine and the ECU. And as much as I'd love to stay and finish this, I also need a break from this at this point. That's 15 hours in, and I probably go to do it again tomorrow. I might choose to do something different tomorrow just to have something to do different. But yeah, we'll be back out here in the morning, guys. So stay tuned. This video is not going to be over until this ECU is completely wired to this engine. So yeah, yay. On to the weekend. Well, guys, it's Sunday, and I called my buddy Zach. He's going to help me weld up this header, so I'm going to run over to his place real quick and get that done, get a bung welded in it, and then get back here and get started. But yeah, I need to finish that harness up, but that's something I got to get done so I can do some other stuff, and he's willing to help me right now. So we're going to do a little road trip over there. So, yay, going to Zach's. Hey guys, I came over here to Zach's. I was going to take a video of him welding it, but he knocked it out real quick. Thanks, Zach.
I stay off camera usually.
Yeah, sporting cast.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got back from Zach's, and he wants you to judge his welding. So leave it in the comments below. How good a weld job did Zach do for me? I think it looks pretty good. It's better than I was going to do by myself, which was not at all. So thank you, Zach, again. I'm gonna get that back on the car, but I think I'm gonna finish up these wire looms first and get that done. So let's get on some wire looms on those guys. I wonder if I have the right size wire loom. I might need to look at that first. But yeah, time lapse wire loom. My header's missing. Well, we got those coil harnesses all loomed up and tucked in there tight. The only wires I got coming out of there are my powers and my grounds. I went ahead and threw this header back on and the O2 bung in it. Man, I think that looks pretty good right there. I threw the air cleaner on because I got a little worried and I thought it might get in the way. I'm running out of room going through that hole in the firewall, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more through there. So I think I'm gonna have to put another hole, and I'm trying to think of like over in here to where I can put a hole in this aluminum plate and run my O2 and my run the O2 and the cam and the crank over here. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, is figure out where I can do that. Oh yeah, I should probably mount that ECU in here. I think I'm gonna get that ECU mounted, and I'm gonna get a hole drilled and get down to adding the last 3 plugs to the cam crank and O2 sensor, and that will be it. That will be the engine wired to the ECU. So yeah, let's get set up and do some time lapse on mounting an ECU. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Probably couldn't see that really well, neither could I, honestly. So I basically just mounted her right here to the O shifter. I got 3 bolts in her. I'm missing one down there, but it's nice and secure. So let's go ahead and yeah, plug these guys in. So essentially this one is the A, and this one is the B, and we can get those plugged in. And there we go. That is engine connected to ECU inside here. We'll deal with those wires after we do a little bit more. But now let's connect those last 3. I need to find a hole up in this guy that I can deal with, and we're gonna punch a hole, and yeah, we're going to keep moving. So here we go. Last three connectors going on, boys. Last 3 connectors going on. These 3 wires right here. Well, guys, we got to make a hole. I don't really have room to drill from this side, so I'm going to drill it from the inside. Wish me luck. I hope I hit nothing important. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. No whammy. Oh, E.T. Poor buddy. Oh, E.T. took it in the face. Oh well, I guess that's where our hole's going to be for our cam and crank. I need to see if I got a grommet for that. Poor E.T. Poor buddy. That's a pretty good spot. Not horribly upset, other than my sticker. I really like DT. I think it'll work. Here we go. Gotta go get a grommet. Okay guys, it's very hard to tell your cam and crank wires apart because they essentially are the same thing. They both have a purple wire in there. And in the plug, they both have a purple wire. So you have to kind of come back to this. You have to find one of them. Crank is on 30. We know 30 is going to be in this bottom row. And then you just do a good old continuity check and figure out which one's the crank and then mark it with some tape. And then you can move on. If you don't do this, you're liable to get them backwards. That's the only way I found to do it. And I don't think people take the time to figure it out right here. And they think they can just trace that wire. And you really can't. So just stop, do a continuity check, make sure you got one of them identified, and then the other one is not the one. So go from there. Well guys, that's the cam, or that's the O2 hooked up to my O2. Right back there's my cam sensor hooked up. And down here, let me see if I can catch them. There's my crank sensor hooked up. Those guys are plumbed through the firewall over here. And everything is coming out and connected right here to my Holley HP. And I am excited. I am exhausted. But I'm also thrilled. That was a lot of work. Now I just have to connect all my power wires to my coils and my injectors, and get my ECU some power, and get a starter down there and get it some power, and get these fans some powers and these some pumps some power. So now it's on to wiring the chassis of the Elco. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video. That's a lot of wiring. I did two hours every night, so that was 10 hours throughout the week. I kicked it off with about 5 hours of the weekend before, and so now here I am about 5 hours into it on this weekend. So there's about 20 hours total in starting with an ECU harness to wiring absolutely every connector from the engine to the ECU. So now that that's done, now we can move on to wiring the car itself, getting a battery in it, connecting the kill switch, connecting the alternator, powering all the little things that need power, putting the little switches in. That's a lot less hectic in my mind than ECU wiring. There's just a lot of wires in an ECU, and you just got to do them, and you got to do them right, and it's tedious and it's tiresome. I hope you enjoy this video. I don't know. I guess enjoy the progress that's made on the Elco moving forward. We're getting that much closer to a burnout. It's the wiring, the chassis of the car will go really quickly compared to wiring the ECU. And once the chassis is wired, it's add fluids and kick tires and light fires, guys. So we're getting really close at the moment. I wanted to keep this video complete as possible, not break it up into 8 sections. So yeah, it probably could have been 3 videos, but it's going to be 1. I hope you watched it. I hope you enjoy it. Like, tag, share, comment. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but you just got to get out there and do it. At the end of the day, it's not going to do itself. So, you know, even if it's just scheduling 2 hours a day and just getting out there and just plugging away at it just a little bit at a time, it'll help you get through the whole thing. So, you know, do what you got to do to get her done, because you got to get her done if you're going to go have the fun. Yeah, I'm just drained, guys. It's been a long 7 days of wiring, and there's been a lot of thinking about the wiring while I'm not actually out here wiring. So it's just, it is what it is. I'm glad that it's done. I'm 100% confident that it's going to work first time. And yeah, let's go from there. I'm getting really excited about how close we are to getting to do a burnout in this thing. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, thank you for watching. Get out there and work on your own ride. Come find us at a burnout pit near you. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks, guys.